So you may remember, if you're from around here, this page that I did in a recent video. So I did this page and I want to finish up this page today. I've already started on this one, but it still needs a lot of work. So we are going to do that.
I just realized that I totally forgot to introduce myself. So hi, if you're new here, I'm Isabel and I mostly do watercolor painting stuff. I had a lot of paintings that were kind of just half finished that I just needed to get out of the way and finish. So that's what we're working on today. Like I said, I did part of the sketchbook spread and it was really just bugging me that it wasn't fully complete. And I knew I needed to do that skin tone practice, so I just decided to do that and get it done. I am not super happy with this page. I wasn't really looking at the reference images, just kind of experimenting, and I ended up with pretty orange skin tones and then one very purple skin tone. So yeah, I mean, I definitely need more practice, but hey, what's a sketchbook for if you're not experimenting, right? With the second face, I tried to leave more highlights and structure it a bit more, which kind of worked, but then I overpainted it and then it just kind of lost some of that contrast anyway. So I'm not really sure where I'm going with, realistic skin tones, but we will see. I do love me a good funky color skin tone. So yeah, I don't know where my art is at. I was actually thinking about this a lot, about how my art, I feel like, hasn't really developed much since around this time last year. And a lot of my favorite paintings that I've made were from last spring and summer, when I really had a ton of time to paint because quarantine and all of that. So yeah, I just don't really know where my art is going right now, which is a funky feeling. But I mean, I think I just need to do some more experimentation and just be patient with it. Because I know, everyone goes through phases of not really being super happy with their art, and feeling like they're not really improving that much. And I'm realizing now that I already made a video about this, and my thoughts are pretty much the same. So if you want to hear more about me waxing on about, not feeling like my art is improving, go watch that when you finish this one, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm not really painting very much lately, and what I am doing is mostly sketchbook work. So I think I need to just be patient with myself and let myself do whatever comes out of my brain, right? I do have a lot of little tiny thumbnail sketches in my sketchbooks, and I just need to sit down and develop those a little bit more. And yeah, sorry, my camera stopped filming. My camera stopped filming, so you lost the footage of the little hair blobby things, but do not worry, there will be more hair blobby things in a later part of this video. I actually am pretty happy with the contrast of this last face, and honestly I would have been happy with the purpley nature of it. It's just that I was aiming for a more realistic tone, so that's kind of what annoyed me, but it's fine. I still like that one the most, actually, out of the 5 faces that are there. And I did go back and touch these up a little bit with some fine liner pen, but I did that after I recorded this video, so you won't see that in this video. But if I do a sketchbook tour, when I actually finish that sketchbook, then you can see that. But it's gonna be a bit, because I have too many sketchbooks that I'm using right now. I mean, they all have a purpose, but there's only so much sketchbooking that you can do. So yeah, what you're seeing right now is in a different sketchbook, because this is a sketchbook that is watercolor paper. The other one is mixed media, and I was playing around with some pretty wet technique. I mean, wet on wet technique, but there was a lot of water involved, so I decided to use the actual watercolor paper since I was experimenting for a watercolor painting, and it's good to know how it's going to react. Obviously, the best thing to do would have been to, try it on the actual paper, but it's expensive and I didn't feel like doing that. So we had a few surprises when we got to the actual painting, but that's okay. Nothing that can't be kind of fixed. I mean, it's hard to fix things in watercolor, but you can pretend like you meant it to happen. So that's what we're gonna do. I was experimenting with this kind of glowing effect, and here you're seeing me kind of work out the final composition of this piece. And I tried 2 different techniques, just kind of pulling them out of my brain. I probably should have maybe watched a video about making glowing effects in watercolor just to, maybe have some expert guidance, but no, we do things independently here. So I just kind of pretended like I knew what I was doing, and one of the techniques felt like it worked, and then I got to the actual painting and I used the one that didn't work as well, because I forgot. So yeah, you can blame my memory for that, but it's fine. It still looks decent. And yeah, so I had the face and hair almost painted, like they were on the paper already, but I didn't really know what the rest of the painting was gonna look like, so I was ironing that out, and then I went in and did the blobby thingies, and yeah, I then I painted the flowers on top of the blobby thingies once they dried. It is really kind of amazing how much the color shifts once it's dry, versus when it's wet. So that's one of my favorite things about watercolor, and it's also one of the most frustrating things because things look good when they're wet and then they dry and then they don't look like you wanted them to. I do need to fix the color balancing on this painting because the face is it's a very warm blue, and the hair too. The face actually has a bit more of a cooler blue in it, but the hair is just pretty much straight ultramarine, so it doesn't really fit with the almost greenish turquoise of the chrysanthemums. So I need to do a wash over one or both of those to kind of bring them more towards a medium color tone. Usually when I paint, I will kind of carve out everything at the same time. So I would have, put down the base layers for everything and then carved out the rest of it, because I like seeing the entire piece come together versus just individual pieces. Individual elements, I guess I should say. That's too many, saying pieces too many times. But I didn't do that for this piece. I'm not really sure why. I guess I just didn't really have a plan that I was super happy with, so I needed to iron that out more. But I had a progress check due for school, because this is for my art class, and I needed to have something on the paper. I don't know, I keep doing this, but I know the way that I like to paint, and I just don't do it, so I don't know. I guess that could be what's making my art not be something I'm happy with. That could be what's hindering it. But hindsight's 2020, I guess. And I'm sure I'll fix this piece. There's not a ton to fix, and I know pretty much how I'm gonna fix it. It's just kind of annoying to try to fix it because I just want to get it done. What you're seeing here is me, struggling to actually get things out of my drawer, because, that is difficult apparently. And I had this kind of half-finished piece again, with the thing where I'm only painting part of the piece and then just leaving it and not even having like the background elements or anything. I don't know why I keep doing this. So I just sort of swatched out some potential background colors and I settled on this really warm purple. I didn't swatch it first, but I just kind of went for it, and I wanted to go for this effect with the, flat brushes, because I've done it before and I liked it, but this was just too messy and it wasn't really working. So I ended up just painting over all of it and just filling in the entire background with this purple, and it still maintained some of the texture. And then I went in and painted the hair kind of blobby while it was still wet. So lots of wet on wet technique in this video, which is kind of fun. The hair is the wrong shape, which, is kind of annoying, but I don't have very much experience painting really textured curly hair, so yeah. We just kind of went for little blobs and abstraction, because I kind of just wanted to get this piece off of my block of paper, because I only have 2 blocks of paper. So if I have one piece on there that isn't finished, then I can't paint anything else until it's done. So yeah, I just needed to get it over with and get it done, and I'm fairly happy with how the end result looks. I did try to bring more of the purple into the face by making the shadows a bit more purple, to bring more cohesion into the piece, which I think did help, with the sort of floating head effect that was going on there. But definitely could have executed this piece better. But that that was kind of an unintentional pun, talking about floating heads and executions. Maybe a bit dark for an art video that's supposed to be chill, but I don't know. I guess puns aren't funny if you explain them, are they? Okay, back to the art. Wow, look, it's so pretty and saturated, except for when it dries, because this paper sucks the life out of colors. So this is the Blick hot press paper, but I've used their cold press too, and it does the same thing. The cold press is actually the one that the first painting that you saw was on, and it just sucks all the saturation out, and so then you get a color you're happy with and you put it down and it just isn't saturated. And then also, if you paint with really light tones, they tend to dry lighter than you think they're going to, and so then you go in with a more what do they call it, like mass tone, is that the right term? Just like more color, higher color to water ratio, I guess, and then it dries darker. So yeah, it's frustrating, but it's fine. Once I use up this paper though, I will probably try out a different kind of paper. So I don't know. Also, I filmed these end shots while it was still wet, so you kind of get that glittery effect. But I do have a shot at the end where you can see the actual painting when it's dry. Yeah, so those are the 3 paintings that I made in this video. Most of them actually on the same day, I think, or over a 2-day period. So I hope you enjoyed just chilling with me and hanging out and getting things done. And I will see you soon. All right, bye.